I don't know if y'all can hear the sick beats coming from across the street. My neighbors like to party on the weekends. Do y'all know how hard it is to make a demonic possession movie that I enjoy?
And cut! Nice job, everybody! Good job!
The Cleansing Hour is the newest Shudder exclusive, directed by Damien Levesque. It stars Kyle Gallner, Alex Angelis, and Ryan Guzman, and it tells the story of two friends, Drew and Max, who made a career for themselves streaming fake exorcisms live on social media. But the particular exorcism that they're performing in their special tonight is a special circumstance because it's a real demon, and things just spiral out of control from there. Now, I'm admittedly not the biggest fan of demonic possession films, with obvious exceptions. It's a subgenre where I feel there's a lot of overlap and a lot of films with similar themes and similar plots, and it's sort of like if you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. Obviously that's not the case, but... And I don't know what it was about The Cleansing Hour that drew me to it. Maybe it was the whole live streaming angle, but ultimately I'm really glad I checked it out. The Cleansing Hour is a movie that, on its premise alone, sounds fine. It's actually quite similar both in tone and themes to The Last Exorcism, just with Instagram Live instead of a documentary. Max, or as his social media persona is referred, Father Max, is a former wannabe Catholic priest who left to go on his own path and pursue exorcism because he wanted to fight evil head-on. And he's let that influencer lifestyle turn him into a bit of a douchebag. And that crisis of faith is ultimately the center point of the movie and what Max is going to have to reconcile if he's going to defeat this demon and save his best friend's girlfriend. That's what makes this movie stand out from the rest. The writing, specifically the characterization, is great. Kyle Gallner as Drew, the brains behind the film's operation, is the absolute standout of the film, and I found myself relating to him quite often as the stressed mind behind the camera a lot of the time. Max is an absolute douchebag, but you can tell that him and Drew have a genuine bond with one another, and it's clear that they've both been through a lot together, and the more you find out about all the things they've been through, the more it becomes clear why they are so attached at the hip. It makes for a really strong emotional core at the center of the film, and the same goes for Drew's relationship with his girlfriend, Lane, the aforementioned possessee. There are a few things that make this movie really fun. The witty writing and banter between the characters, especially when they're all on the film set before shit pops off, is amazing. And it pretty much gives you a perfect vibe of what set life is like, especially on live sets. But the thing I really appreciated about this film that sets it apart from the rest is that it wastes no time. The second the possession begins, which is already pretty early on in the film, the pacing is breakneck. We don't get any of those long drawn-out sequences where characters are freaking out and trying to wrap their brains around what's going on and not believing that it's demonic possession. And it's partially because all of these characters, at least somewhat, do believe in this stuff already. So when they start seeing truly impossible things happening in front of them, yeah, they panic, but then they immediately start trying to deal with it. And I think that's both awesome and hysterical because not only is it really practical for them as characters, it's also a wonderful commentary about what it's like being a filmmaker and just constantly being prepared for literally anything. The other reason that this movie feels different from other possession films is because of the demon in question. It's sassy, it has an understanding of technology, and it really enjoys fucking with Max and Drew. And whenever the demon is talking through or possessing Lane, you can tell that Alex Angelis is having a blast with this role. She's cursing and spitting and biting off fingers, and it's wild. The gore in this movie is out of control, and this is a much more splatter-happy film than I expected. In a good way. It's all the insane, bloody violence of The Evil Dead, but with the themes of The Last Exorcism. It's not perfect, and I do have some issues that really did start grating at me, especially toward the last act of the film. There's an ongoing thing this movie does where it makes this very bizarre choice to cut away from the action in the studio to the viewers around the world who are watching. And while I do understand how all those little details and all those viewers and the fact that there's a lot of people watching tie into the plot, but I think it's something of a distracting choice, and I think that making this film completely a bottle movie, just all inside the studio, contained on one set, would have made it a lot more intense. On top of that, when you get to the final act of this movie, shit gets bonkers, and mostly in a good way, but not entirely in a good way. There is just so much going on that to a point it becomes hard to keep track of, and the film itself has about 3 or 4 different climaxes. Every time I thought that it was over and the movie was wrapping up, another climax would start. And again, like I mentioned with the constant cutting away to the show's viewers, I get what it was going for, but it's very distracting. The actual finale we do get is a really cool idea, and it's done with some really brilliant practical effects until you get to the final demon, like, full reveal, and yeah. But I digress, because I had a blast with this movie. I'm gonna say that The Cleansing Hour is solid. It's a fun, different take on possession films, and I think if you like witty writing, good gore, and some brutal kills, you'll probably get some good mileage out of this movie. It is currently streaming on Shudder, and if you check it out, please let me know your thoughts below. I really want to hear them. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to take part in my 31 Nights of Halloween, that is every night of this month, a different movie. We all watch it together on Discord. That is accessible for my $5 patrons and up. If any of you want to join me, hop in the voice chat, talk with me during the movie, let's watch the movie in silence, listen to me ramble while we watch the movie, any of that. If any of that interests you, please consider donating. I would really appreciate it. Even $1 would help, but even if you don't, thank you so much for watching anyway, and I'll see you all very soon.